When Ditsy reached the hotel, she turned to Trixie, who had caught up her on the final stretch. I'll come up into your room in a few minutes, okay? Trixie sighed. Ditsy, I can tell you're about to do something stupid. You already made clear what side you're on. Ditsy shivered again. Wished that Poussons would spend a few more bits and get the hotel heated to something approaching a reasonable level. So thank you kindly for the concern, but I'm going to take it from here. See you in a few minutes. But Trixie trailed off as Ditsy walked down the hall. When Ditsy looked back, she noticed Somare hadn't followed her. With a contemptuous flick of her tail, she went down the hallway. She did not again look back. She found Poussons in a small antechamber off the main lounge. Ice Heart was sitting on one of the chairs, looking forlorn, but Poussons just looked smugged. Excuse me, she said, causing both of them to turn, but I'd like to speak with you, Viceroy, privately. Poussons was silent for a long moment, before an obviously fake smile crept over her features. Of course, dearie. Could you go play in the hallway for a few minutes, please? But... Ice Heart's voice trailed off. Yes, Auntie. He sighed, got up, and tried it out. Poussons watched him go before shutting the door behind him. Poor thing, she mused. I hope the ice fizz I'll be building for him in the vault can perk him up. She chuckled, then turned back to Ditsy. Well, Dame. I have a proposal for you, said Ditsy. Oh? Ditsy nodded. Let's do something else for Ice Heart, outside the vault. Let me interact with vaults its own needs. She paused, every fiber of her straightening to keep herself calm. Remaining peaceful, not to jump across the room and screamed at the old nag. Call the nannies and caretakers at the title of Ice Heart's guardian Marcia must see you, but let the other ponies bring him up. She locked eyes with Poussons. He deserves better than to be raised in isolation. I see. Poussons tilted her head. Well then, Dame. Your proposal is rejected. Thank you for your time. Do you have anything to say? Ditsy's eyes flashed. I think you should reconsider. Oh, then what is that? Because I'll tell Luna, Ditsy grinned. I'm a real mother. I didn't just birth my foal. I raised her. I'll tell Luna that Ice Heart's environment is flawed from the very foundations. That any foal raised with no friends, no companions its own age, is going to have problems, she shrugged. I have the right of approach, so listen to me. Then she'll take Ice Heart away. Feisting was silent for a long moment. Ditsy patted up to Ditsy. Is that so? She murmured. Yes, it's so. Poussons squinted at her as if she suddenly became a bug-like creature. Well, of all the... She paused, then turned and slammed it at the door. Fight your starter! She bellowed. In the moment, the door burst open. A bulky unicorn, a red coat, and a flame key mark came in. What? I thought I told you to heat the hotel properly. It's barely warmer in here than outside. What exactly am I paying you for? The servant looked confused, so Ditsy had no idea why. The room was downright chilly. She was surprised she couldn't even see her breath. Cutting out the servant's protest with a raised ring, Poussons snapped, Get this hotel up to a bearable temperature in 5 minutes, or you'll be walking back to California. Then, only clean at your desk. Are we clear? Yes. Then go! You know, Poussons, even though it's obvious what's going on here, Ditsy's still right. And who's Luna going to trust more? The mayor, who's proven herself to be untrustworthy and to be one of the more horrible people at the night court? Or Ditsy? You think. When the servant was gone, Poussons shut the door and smiled. There was a tooth in it, Ditsy noticed. Honestly, Dame, the viceroy said, I appreciate your passion, but if I wanted advice on how to be a mother to my foal, do you really think I would seek it from one who, well, she gave a little sigh. Well, I'm sure you tried hard, but I think we both know the truth, don't we? You're hardly the perfect little pony yourself, and you're no person to give advice. What's that supposed to mean? Snapped Ditsy. Because I happen to think you've done a fine job of raising Dinky. She's fed, clothed, and has the best education. Oh, really? Poussons smirked. I was under the impression she didn't actually qualify for the best education. Or did he get into the shop-winning academy after all? Objection! I know I make fun of private school a lot for many reasons. But it's not so much the school that's important, it's the teachers. And Charlie seems to be a good teacher. So, yeah, your argument's invalid. Saying you're going to a great school means nothing. Dizzy fuss. She scored very well on that entrance exam, and that's hardly on me. Point goes to Ditsy, again. Every single one of my foes is qualified for shop winning. Oh my goodness, let me throw a parade. How happy were they? Drawled Poussant's. And my grand foes, and once Scepter stops fighting his private tutor, my great-grandchild will do so as well. I was able to provide them with access to the best teachers in the land to prepare them for that test. What preparation did you provide for your foe? A green groom, a hearty breakfast, a goodbye hug? Yeah, that's kind of all you need. Charming, I'm sure, but hardly the kind of support your daughter needed. That's because I didn't hire ponies to teach my daughter to the test, hissed Ditsy. Doesn't mean I can't afford to raise her properly. Is that so? Asked Poussant. Can you afford to get her the healthiest artisan foods from the family farms of Caro Furlong? Or do you buy her cheap, local, inferior produce every night? Objection again! You can't force a child to like something. For instance, I've been told broccoli is good all my life, but I hate the taste. I hate the stems. I hate how it feels. And no amount of, if he does add this or this or this to it, it's going to make me like it. I don't like coffee. I don't like booze. And I don't like broccoli. I can't stand the taste, or Brussels sprouts, or anything within that family. I just don't like it. And if you force a kid to eat that, they're going to get sick. Because their taste buds don't match for it. They don't acquire the taste for it. And soon they're just going to get sick of it. So, yeah, you're kind of in the wrong here. Are you able to supplement her school lessons with magic tutoring from professors at Luna's Magic Academy? Well, if she doesn't want to become a mage. If your daughter became seriously ill, would you be able to place one telegraph call and have the finest physicians in Equestria at her side in mere moments? She chuckled. Well, Dicky doesn't need all those things, began Ditsy. Oh, I think we both know that's a lie. No, I'm looking at the liar, Poussant, and it's you. Kindly go to hell and stay there. Haven't you ever lain awake at night, listening to the fitful snores of your dear little foe, and lamented how you can never give her the life she truly deserves, as will always be held back because her poor mother couldn't afford the very best of her? She tilted Ditsy's head up with one of her wings. You know, Poussant, there are plenty of other mares who came from just below that and did pretty well for themselves. I could help you know. Just say the word, I'll give you all the money you need to raise your foal as a foal should be raised. You'll buy her the finest clothes, the very best food, the most intelligent and skilled tutors. Ditsy backed away. Poussant's wing felt like ice under her chin. Never, she growled. We'll take your money. I see. Poussant shrugged. Oh, so sad for her. You know, I'm starting to think I know one of the main reasons why this fic is just not doing it for me. I thought we left all this crap back in the first season. Ditsy was tempted to slap the vice rein, but managed to restrain herself. Maybe I can't get her the best food or clothes, but I could give her love, and a foal needs that more than she needs some prince tutor. Every day I'm there to support my daughter and help her grow. I guide her as she discovers her things she loves in life, she smirked. But you don't support your children, do you? How many of them have been exiled from Equestria? I support them more than you could ever know. But you don't love them, snapped Poussant. I only want what's best for them. Sometimes they make mistakes, yes, and I have to correct them. But it's for their own good. And believe me, when it's all said and done, they know it. Best for them? What's best for them is that they should be happy. You should let your ponies do what they want! So Dinky decides to become a sultanic. You'll stand by and whistle well, sounds Poussant. Ditsy rolled her eyes. That's different. What I mean is, you should let them pick careers, and lives that will make them happy. Not force them down different paths. Poussant's argument and the asshole's argument, they remind me of something. There's a psychological name for it when you try to support your own argument with something that doesn't really match to the situation. Oh, what was it? Darn it! I know, I studied it not too recently. Maybe that's the best that would happen to Dinky. After all, with you raising her, perhaps enjoying a happy life, a comfortable mediocrity is the best you can aspire to. Poussant's eyes glinted. Some of us, however, have higher aspirations for our children with mere philosophy. And my children know it. Deep down inside, they love me. They all do. Greed, hissed Ditsy, is not the same as love. Nor is pity, said Poussant. When your daughter sees you once again, obtaining inferior food or clothes or anything else for her, because you simply can't afford the best, well, she might say she doesn't mind. She might say she loves you anyway. But believe me, she knows, dame. She knows full well that her mother is letting her down. Oh, kind of like how you've been letting everybody down? Seriously, again, Ditsy, you are in the right here. You are winning this argument. You shouldn't really let loose because, quite frankly, she's failing in all her arguments. She's doing nothing but material gains. Again, she's treating them not as ponies, but as items. Ditsy saw red. Her legs were starting to tremble under her constant shivering. Poussant was shaking too, she noticed, but she dismissed this. I think we're getting off topic, Simaz. As I was saying, let Ice Heart be raised outside the vault, or I'll tell Luna you're not raising him well. She'll take him away. She'll duck down the whole vault. Ridiculous, said Poussant. My dear, do you think Ice Heart's friends are the most unusual that the vault has to offer? There are ponies within that would not survive in the outside world. Luna will never close the vault. I wouldn't be so sure, said Ditsy. Especially when I tell her how you keep the ponies isolated from their families. She'll probably have it torn down on the spot. Poussant was silent for a long moment. I tried to be tolerant of other ponies' opinions, she said at last, but I fully intend to defend my legal rights, Dame Ditsy. If you lie to me, to Luna, if you say one false thing that impacts me in the slightest, you should be aware that I am more than willing to sue you for slander, and my lawyers are very good. I have Luna on my side. What? I can talk to Luna and Trixie and they can find me better lawyers than you. What leg do you have to stand on? You literally have nothing to stand on. Technically, at this moment, I have more power than you. Your argument, your whole entire threat, falls on deaf ears. You've already proven yourself to be disloyal. You've proven yourself to be a jerk. You've proven yourself to be such a horrible pony that the moment you try to pull out the whole lawyer thing, Luna's gonna dismiss you. Yeah. Guess what? You fail at this. You fail. I'll be very cautious where you step, Dame. It would be most unfortunate if you set yourself up for a judgment which bankrupted you. After all, where would your little mother live if her mother lost all her money because she slandered the Vicereine? Ditsy didn't say anything. She looked at the mayor who had just threatened to leave her daughter homeless and tried to suppress the coldest rage he ever felt. But perhaps I go too far, mused Poussant. After all, it's hardly your daughter's fault if her mother's impertinent. She grinned. I'll make you a deal. If you slander me, Ditzy, make no mistake, I will bury you in court. But if that so happen, and you are no longer able to care for Dinky, even the mediocre level you are now, I'll adopt her and raise her as my own, just like I thought. Her eyes gleamed. I suppose it should be difficult for her at first, but I assure you, I am quite experienced as her mother, and I'm certain I could do an excellent job. Why, in a few months, she might not even remember you at all. She chuckled softly. Quite generous of me, yes? Oh, for Pete's sake. Poussants! Here's the reason why I like Checker more than you. When Checker threatens to outsmart me, I believe her. I believe that she could pull this off. You? You are so obviously evil. You are so obviously cruel that as much as I hate to, profile people by names or personalities or looks, because, trust me, every time I watch a Nostalgia Craig or a Simpsons video and they say, why do you trust this person? Their name is Sinestro or Doom, blankety blank blank. I roll my eyes because that is profiling of the highest caliber and that's just stupid. But in your case? My God! You're not just evil, you're stupid evil. Slander would only work if Desi says something that's not true. But we have evidence. We've seen arguments. All it takes is for Ditzy to show some vault ponies. Ask the court to go to the vault. Ask Ditzy ask the lawyers to go to the vault. Ask the lawyers to bring out witnesses like your family and tell them they'll be safe. Your whole entire plan, your whole entire idea of a threat falls flat. Honey, get a better career. You're not good at this. Take a few lessons from Checker. My God, you're making me miss Checker Monarch, you really are. Dizzy had a brief vision of Dinky being forced into the vault. Before she knew it, she had reared back. Oh, and that's another problem I have with the vault. You are trying to look for ponies that are mixed breeds, yes? They have, mixed abilities and such. Well, how do you determine that? Okay, because I'm pretty positive that by the time of the unification of the three tribes, everybody has at least a little bit of them. Has at least a little bit of the three tribes in them. Why do you think Kudos is wrong? She had reared back. She wanted to buck the fight screen and send her flying across the room. It was the biggest temptation she had ever encountered, and then a single thought was holding her back. If she did, Poussants would sue her. The bitter old crone would then own her and her descendants forever. Not if we bury her body outside, Ditzy! Look, Ditzy, here's my plan. Wait till she's asleep, get a pillow, and put it over her head. Problem solved. But still, she was so evil, so wicked, so obvious, so in need of a righteous punishment, and the hotel was so cold, making her even angrier, and... Excuse me. Both mayors turned to see Cheerilee standing in the doorway. Couldn't help overhearing, said Cheerilee, though Ditzy could hear the anger in her voice. Ditzy, might have a few words with the Viceroy. Ditzy took several long breaths, so you could see her breath when she exhaled. She wondered what happened to Firestar. Not necessary, she managed. I think it is. Cheerilee entered the room, and he gently steered Ditzy outside of it. But Cheerilee leaned in close. I know the law, she whispered. I got this, don't worry. She winked. Just leave it to me. She got Ditzy outside of the room, and then kicked the door shut behind her. So, she heard her say, about the definition of slander. Ditzy shook her head and tried to warm her up. Depraved, vile, wicked old hag, She kicked the chair. I'm going to destroy her. That's the last thing I do. She stopped talking. Ice Heart poked his head up from behind the couches, tears straining his cheeks. Are you really going to hurt my auntie? He whimpered. Yeah. Hate to break your heart, kid, but yeah, we're going to hurt her. Badly. What? I know if you're a good psychologist. I don't mind taking care of the kid. Dizzy was going to say something, but the words caught in her throat. Dizzy kneeled down as he was face to face with Ice Heart. The rising voices of Poussons and Charlie in the antechamber faded from her perception, as did the feel of the carpet under her legs. And even the bitter chill, she saw only the foal. I don't want to hurt her, said Dizzy at last, but Ice Heart, she's treating you so badly. You deserve friends, lots of them. Ponies you could play with, laugh with, and grow up with. She's keeping you from that. It's not fair of her, and I want to put a stop to it. She looked down. You're a wonderful foal. I only just met you, but I can tell you're kind, intelligent, and energetic. You should be exploring the world with friends and neighbors, not locked in a vault like a museum exhibit. Ice Heart shook his head. But other ponies are mean to me, he said. My cousins and the other I bumped into while I was running away. They call me mean things. They said I'm a monster. They said some ponies should call Luna to banish me. Some ponies are very mean, agreed Ditsy. She adjusted her own eyes. I had all sorts of horrible nicknames too when I was a little foal. But there are good ponies too. The thing is, she smiled brightly, on the balance, it's worth to try to make new friends. Maybe a few ponies you meet will be mean. But there are so many that will accept you for who you are. Does he want friends, Ice Heart? So you got dice with him, don't you? The foal said nothing for a long moment before fluttering his wings, clambering up to one of the big chairs in the hallway. Yes, he said in a low voice like he was saying, I do, but now they're going to hurt me. Before Dizzy could respond, he flapped behind a chair, only his face was peeking over the top. Police drove me out of towns, he said, and some of them threw rocks at me. I'm scared and sad. I don't want to feel like that again, he shut his eyes. Auntie Poussin said I could stay safe from the vault for as long as I want, where no pony will be mean to me again. Sure, sometimes I want to leave and see other ponies, but Auntie Poussin's told me that she's looking every day for other nice foals who might want to live in the vault and be my friend. He managed to smile. The other vault ponies said they helped too, and Auntie promised that they'll find some, so bring them in and I can play with them. Ditsy sighed. Your auntie is a very rich and powerful mare, Ice Heart. If she was really looking hard to find new friends, she could have found some already. When Ice Heart said nothing, she continued. I know there's ponies out there who would be afraid of you, but there's a lot of them that wouldn't. They're not hard to find. You should ask yourself why Poussins can't seem to find them. But... Ice Heart looked away. You don't get it. He insisted. She's not my mom, but she gave me a home. I feel safe with her. That's not a family. Maybe she's not perfect, but she's a really good auntie, and she's my only family. You call that family? You call this family? I mean, well, see Dad, but then he hurt Auntie and... He trailed off, his eyes glistening again. Please don't be mean to her. Dizzy wasn't sure what to say. You really love her, don't you? See, man, Ice Heart bobbed his head up and down. The mailman was quiet for a few moments. Poussins wasn't wrong. She could be doing so much more to help Ice Heart get friends and companions. But at the same time, how could she tell this foal that he was wrong to love his adopted mother, who had taken him in when no pony else would? If somebody found thinking and recounted Dizzy's various screw-ups as a mother, would her daughter react any differently? What was she trying to do anyways? Tear down Poussins? Yes. It felt right, and it is. But would that help Ice Heart? He clearly loved the mare. Shouldn't she take her own advice and prioritize his happiness? Not at the cost of his own sanity. This is hurting him. Sorry, but sometimes it has to hurt. Alright, she said at last. Distantly, she noted the chill had died down. She smiled as her serious subsided. Maybe I can help your auntie. Help her? In finding you some friends. She leaned her head in close. I know some really friendly foals who would love to meet you. They're kind and energetic, and they accept any pony. That's so they were friends with a Pegasus unicorn hybrid. Ice Heart blinked. I thought Auntie Poussant's had all the hybrids in her vault. Not this one. Dicky winked. There's a hybrid at Ponyville. You might think the ponies treat her strangely, but she has lots of friends. She plays every day with a unicorn pony who likes fireworks, and every week with her ponies who like tea parties, and last week she dressed up as a princess in a heartwarming pageant. Got to put on a soul with a bunch of other foals. A few weeks ago, just before winter began, she was playing pirate with a dozen of friends, and he had so much fun. Dizzy let a smile wash over her features. I think you would have enjoyed it. Ice Heart, do you really think that with the population of Ponyville and the amount of unicorns or ponies and Pegasus out there, that hybrids wouldn't be more common? Why do you think Kudos was so specific with Applejack? Because her bloodline was the most pure that he ever found. That's why she was special. Ice Heart looked eager for a moment before his face fell. Well, a hybrid's one thing, but I'm half monster. No, you're not, corrected Ditzy. You're all full. I promise you, there are ponies at Ponyville who would love to make friends with you. Anyone or no? She winked. Make you promise even. Huh? Asked Ice Heart. It's... Ditzy trailed off, realizing that explaining Pinky to another pony could take hours. Well, never mind that. She was silent for a moment longer. Why don't I talk to your auntie and the other full ponies? I'll say I'm very sorry for being mean to them. Then I'll offer to help them and find you some friends. Would you like that? Ice Heart nervously totted. Yeah, but only if they won't be mean and hurt me. You know, Jervis, I don't want to get hit with rocks again. I swear to you, I'll make sure that each and every one of the foals is as kind as they can be, said Ditzy. Ice Heart said nothing. Ditzy sighed. I know I haven't done much to earn your trust, she said. But what if I run them by your auntie first? I'll work with her. She'll take every pony as she tests. How's that? At that, the pony nodded. Ditzy wasn't sure how much of a victory it was. Certainly, Poussant's could just veto every pony on spurious grounds. But at least it was something. And who knew? Maybe Poussant's heart would be touched when she saw how badly Ice Heart wanted some friends after all. Wonderful. The mailmare stretched, realizing she didn't feel cold at all anymore. It's right, Star got things going, she thought. You climb on my back when I go see your auntie, she said. Does that sound fun? Yep, Ice Heart climbed on. Thanks, Miss Stu. It's like I said, it's Ditzy. Ditzy turned back to the door and noted with relief that she didn't hear any more shouting. Maybe she thought Charlie and Poussant were getting along. She pushed over the door and struck with a blast of sub-zero air. The anti-timber was completely frozen over. The fire in the fireplace was dead. Ice coated the furniture, and the snow even drifted down from the ceiling. In the middle of it all were Poussant and Charlie, standing with hooves pointing at each other, both coated in completely thick ice. Crap! Charlie just had to get frozen too. Oh, no. It's not that I'm worried for her. It's just that now that Charlie is frozen, this means that Poussant is going to be okay. Because now that Charlie is frozen herself, this means that we can find a way to save her. And we find a way to save her, we gotta do that hero thing. Yeah, being a good person sucks sometimes. Auntie? Whimpered Ice Heart. Then, Auntie! He looked over Dizzy's back and ran to Poussant's. Auntie! Somebody help her. Meanwhile, Dizzy ran over to Charlie. She tapped the ice, but it was impossibly thick. She looked at the Earth Pony's anxious look. The Wendigo, she realized. That was why we were so cold and grumpy. I was ready to push Poussant's. It was feeding our hate, making us snap at each other. When Charlie and Poussant's went too far, a cold lump folded in her throat. What now? Somebody scurrying! Is everybody okay? Ditzy turned to see Trixie and the other elements run in, followed in moments by the full ponies. Ditzy! Cried Trixie. What happened? I think the Wendigo followed us home, said Ditzy, frightened to keep panic out of her voice. She looked around for some way to warm up Charlie. Wasn't even an ember left in the fireplace, nor a single lit candle in the room. Trixie's eyes widened. No, she muttered. Rusty and Charlie sighed. No. We're not gonna lose a friend up here! We can't use the elements without her, began Carrot Top. I know! Yelled Trixie. The wind was blowing her cape around and cat around, so he didn't even see it annoyed. Okay, fine. We can fix this. I'll work out a spell to... You! The elements turned to see Silver Sculptor sweeping on Huff at Trixie. All the phone ponies were either glaring at them or trying to minister to Poussant's. You're supposed to keep us safe! Do something! Well, I am. I'm right now flipping you off. I'm trying! Snapped Trixie. I'm trying! She put up to head. I'm working on it, okay? No pony answer. We got this! Everything is under control! At that moment, the Wendigo burst in through the outer wall of the lounge.